Hi, Lucy, we can't hear you.
Hear me now?
Yes, now. We can hear you now.
I think 1 second. I think it's a settings issue. But what I was saying, we'll start with our the business model. What is a business model? But I also want to know, can everyone type in the chat box how many years they've been operating their business for? As I try and figure out how to share my presentation. Or can I email you my presentation and then you can just share? Because I think there's a settings issue.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Give me just 1 second. Apologies for that, which is I don't know what's going on, but let me just try again and present and see if it will work.
Okay, I think I'm going to.
So what happens is if I start presenting, it mutes me immediately.
Okay, yes, so just present so I can ask you to mute.
To unmute
Present
me.
again, so let me try.
Okay. 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 But
Yes.
your screen.
Yes, I can still see your screen.
Okay, good. I think then we got it, right? So
Yes,
I've
we can.
seen a couple of years, 1 year, good, 5 years, right? So majority of the businesses don't make it past 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 2.5 years. Some of you are really doing well. So majority of the businesses don't make it past the past year. And some of the reasons why businesses fail is one, not having a clear need that they're satisfying. They don't have a clear customer need that they're satisfying. Everyone just wants to get into the hustle, but they don't know what customer need they're satisfying. And while it might work in the short term, in the long term, it always does not work. The other reason that businesses fail is businesses have a bad business plan, right? Or no plan at all. You just have some money and you have 50K naira and you want to make 200K from that. So while it will work for a few months, for a few years, it's not sustainable in the long term. And then, of course, lack of financing, bad location, businesses not being flexible. You were selling face masks during the pandemic. You still have not pivoted. Of course, you're still not in business, yeah. Or you expand too quick without a plan, right? So most of these issues here, the reasons why businesses fail, can be solved using a business model. So I think the question is, what is a business model? So a business model is how a company creates value for itself while delivering products and services for customers. So I highlighted this creates value for itself. Running a business is really hard. And to be honest, you're not in the business for your customers, but for how you want to create value for yourself, right? But you also need the customers in order to create that value for yourself. So, how do you match where your customers are, the needs that your customers have, versus the value that you want to get? And I feel like the process of matching the customers and the value that you want to create for yourself is how to generate a business model. So there are 9 steps to generating a business model, right? And I'll take you through the 9 steps. But then I think important to note is, especially for businesses that are past 6 months, right? Well, whatever you did work for 6 months, if you want to sustain your business, if you want to continue to be in business, yeah, it's very important for you to have a business model. If you want to grow your business, say you have a store, how do you grow from 1 store to 3 stores, right? How do you grow from making shea butter in your house to producing large quantities of shea butter? How do you grow from selling in Lagos to selling across Nigeria to selling outside of Africa, right? So a business model is a roadmap, right? It's a roadmap of how do you go from point 0 to point 10 in your business. But also to note is that you also have to be very flexible, because your assumptions in doing the business model today could change. And there are various factors that can change the roadmap for your business, right? Elections can change the roadmap for your business. So many businesses were not able to achieve like the same numbers that they did in last year January as compared to this year January, and it's because of there's a lot of tension. Yeah, the cash crunch, right? So if your business model was set on collecting cash, how are you able to adapt when there's no longer cash in the market? So I think these are some of the factors that I need you to start thinking about. And as I go through the steps to creating a business model, if you have a notebook, just think about your own business and the various steps and how they relate to your own business. Yeah. So to create a business model, we use a business model canvas, right? And this is what a business model canvas looks like. And these are 9 items are you can easily create that right now. Like gone are the days of creating 30-page business plans, right? If you can be able to fit what your business roadmap looks like in these 9 items, in these 9 boxes, then I feel like you have a roadmap to growing your business, to achieving business success. So the first step of the business canvas is this customer segments, right? So when I talk about customer segments, and I want you to write down as I speak about these things, write down respectively what it means for your business, so that at the end of this, I want everyone here to leave knowing what their business model would look like, or what do they need for their business for the next year, for the next 2 years, for the next 3 years, right? So when you think about your business, who, what are your customer segments? And under customer segments, you have to ask yourself, who are my customers, right? Am I selling to individuals? Am I a wholesaler? Am I selling to shopkeepers, right? Are is my category, am I just selling fashion for women or for men? So who really is your customer, right? And if it's fashion for women, what age are you targeting? What category are you targeting? Are you targeting casual clothes, or women who go to work, or women who are into sports, right? So for your business, who are your customers? And you have to ask yourselves, who are they and why would they buy? So I am Lucy. I go to the office every day. Why would I buy from you? I'd buy from you for a couple of reasons. One, you offer quality offerings, you offer within my size, you offer within my price range, right? So who are your customers? Who are they and why would they buy? Yeah. And this is a very important thing to note. Your customers do not exist to buy, you exist for them, right? So you have to know that you exist for your customers. If it's not a necessity, if it's not bread or milk or water, right? You exist for your customers. So you have to ask yourself, who are your customers? Who are they? And why would they buy? Then the second step is value propositions. So you've already figured out who your customer is. Yeah, your customer is a shopkeeper who sells, maybe you supply them with groundnuts, right? And they sell for you the groundnuts. Yeah. So you've already identified that is your customer. So for these groundnuts are, what are you building and for who, right? So if you're building your business for this customer, right, who you supply with groundnuts, are do they need large quantity supplies? Do you need to break them down into smaller pieces? Like, do you need to package them into smaller bottles for them to be able to afford it? Because you've already decided that your customer is the shopkeeper, you'll focus on the shopkeeper, right? So do you need to break them down? Uh, do you want to move from the shopkeeper into a supermarket? If you want to move to the supermarket, what does it take, right? Do you need better packaging? Yeah. Do you need to supply the supermarket with 100 pieces versus the shopkeeper that you were supplying with 10 pieces, right? Sorry. So for this, it's about, you need to also be solving a need or a problem. So it's about satisfying a customer's need, right? I've seen some people say they are tailors. So what need are you satisfying for the customer? You're satisfying for the customer custom made pieces, right? And if you're satisfying for the customer custom made pieces, what is your value proposition? Is it that you're able to deliver these items to your customer after 24 hours, after 48 hours? Is your value proposition that you're able to do delivery, or you're able to propose for them the customized designs as compared to them having to select? Because I'm sure that people who go to a tailor and they're like, I need workwear, but I don't know what. Yeah. So is your value proposition as a business being able to also suggest the custom designs to make for your customers? So I wrote, it's not about your idea or a product, right? It's about the problem that the customer has. If I don't come to you as a tailor, will my life continue? Yes, my life will continue because there are other tailors and they can also buy from the shop, right? But will you as a business exist if I'm not coming to you and your business is tailoring? You won't exist. So you have to identify as a customer, what are my pain points, right? Is it the fact that the pain points of the customer is we do last minute tailoring before a wedding? So that means you as a business, your value proposition should be offering 24 hours or 48 hours turnaround, right? So most people use technology. You can say, yeah, I will build a website, yeah. But if you still do not solve the core customer problem, whether you build a website or not, it won't help, right? If you're still not solving what I need as a customer. So technology should be there to enhance your business, but you first need to identify, why does your business exist? What need are you solving in the market? The next step is channels, right? So I sell, I make honey in my house. How does my product get to my customers, right? How do I distribute? Do I do online? Do I sell online? Do I have a physical store? Also, how will I be selling? Do I sell on Jumia? Yeah. Do I sell on Glovo? I make food. I'm a food vendor. Where do I sell? Do I sell on Instagram? Basically, channels is, how does your product, how do your services get to your customers, right? Remember, if a customer does not know you exist, they won't buy from you. So also the question is, how will customers who need your product know you exist, right? And we are in the day and age of online. So as much as physical channels help, as much as you're okay selling from your house, I think the question should be how much more can you do online? And if you're online, how can you sell online? Yeah. So that's for channels. I'll do the fourth one and then just fill like the buzz. Does anyone have any questions? So the fourth is customer relationships, right? How do I get customers? How do I keep them? How do I grow them? So you have to think about this as a funnel. The funnel starting from how you're bringing in customers to your business. And once they're already in your business, how do you make sure that they stay? How do you make sure that you keep them in your business? For instance, I have seen a business that does low carbon construction and concrete. Sorry, I hadn't realized my video was that bad. Yeah, low carbon construction and concrete products, right? So if you're doing low carbon construction and concrete products, what's the lifetime of your customer? How long does your customer exist? For this business, your customer could be a one-time customer because maybe they're just doing like a one-off construction. Yeah. So how do you get them into your business? How you get them into your business first is through awareness, advertising, word of mouth. Yeah. Just getting them into your pipeline, into your funnel. Then the second question is, how do you keep them? You keep them by meeting their demands, giving them good service, or just meeting their demands, giving them good service, and also treating them well, are and just fulfilling your end of the bargain as a business, right? Now the question now becomes: you've already kept them. How do you grow them? Are there other services you can upsell to them? For instance, can you upsell to them uh, other construction or concrete products, right? You deal with jewelries and accessories. How do you get your customers? You probably get your customers online through advertising, through Instagram, through Facebook, right? After you've gotten them into your business, how do you keep them? Did you delay on a delivery and not communicate to them? Or did you give them a product that was not good quality, a broken product? Uh, how do you keep your customers? The thing is, you have to always know how to keep your customers because it's easier to keep your customers than to get new customers. So if the customer already came in and you offer them good service, it's easier to resell to that customer than get a new customer in, right? Because of course you're incurring costs in advertising to get new customers. So how are you keeping your customers and how are you growing them? Do you offer your existing customers offers? Are you maintaining a personal touch with also your existing customers? The fifth thing you need to think about as a business is revenue streams. So we figured out how we figured out who is my customer, right? We figured out who is my customer. We figured out what value do I offer my customer as a business, right? We've also figured out how do we get the customers, like how do we distribute our products to the customers? Is it that we're doing our small stores, online stores? Are we having pop-ups? Are we attending trade fairs? Then we figured out our customer relationships, right? How do we get our customers? How do we keep them? How do we grow them, right? We figured these four items out. The fifth item that we need to figure out is the revenue streams, which might look like the most important thing, but after you figured out these four items, you can be able to clearly see how to make money. So different channels will also have different revenue streams. For instance, if you're selling online, your pricing might not be the same as someone who has a physical store, because there are various costs that they have to incur. They have to incur uh, they have to incur they have to incur rent, they have to pay for electricity, they have to pay for staff to get there, they have to pay for security, they have to pay for cleaning, right? But the question is, how does the company make money from each customer segment? So if you think about customer segments, let me pick an example of a business from the chat box. Okay, food processing and packaging for babies and adults, right? So for this business that does food processing and packaging for adults, for babies and adults, already those are two different customer segments. One customer segment is the adults, the second customer segment is the babies, right? So for those two separate customer segments, their needs are different. Maybe for the babies, the processing items have a longer lifetime, for the adults have a shorter lifetime. Or you have to process more for the babies because it's daily, or less for the adults. So for these different customer segments, how do you make money from both of them? Because you can't generalize the same item for different customer segments. So from the adults, how do you make money from the adults? How do you make money from the children? Is it recurring costs? Is it a subscription? So if you think about revenue models, the question is, what is your strategy, first of all? Are you doing direct sales? Are you doing wholesaling? Are you doing retailing? Or are you doing distributors, right? Am I a manufacturer working with distributors? So what's my revenue model? I could be I could be a manufacturer working with distributors, but I also am selling on other channels. Maybe I'm also selling on Gigi. Yeah. So what's my revenue model for Gigi? Knowing that Gigi will take a commission, or will charge me for ads, or will take a commission on the sales I make, versus the wholesaler who just comes and picks. So I might charge cheaper for the wholesaler because the wholesaler, I'm not incurring additional costs with the wholesaler as compared to being on like a marketplace. Yeah. So what is your revenue model strategy? And then also pricing. What is now, after you've decided what your strategy is, are you doing fees? Are you doing direct sales? Are you doing subscriptions, right? You're selling maybe a training program, yeah, an educational training program. Are you doing a one-time fee? Are you doing subscription? For the subscription, are there subscription? Is there like a lower subscription, a higher subscription? Or how are you also upselling people within your business? Yeah. So I'll let take a pause in case there are any questions up till there. I also want to know, are people thinking about their businesses using these steps to creating a business model? If you have any questions, you can just type in the chat box. You're not getting audio. You're still not getting audio. Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. Are we all together? Can I get? Okay. Just put them on the chat box. Okay. So we've gone through half of the process of creating a business model. We are about to go through the other half. I hope you're all writing and thinking about your businesses critically along these lines. I'm sure Our founder will be able to share the slides, but I hope you're all like thinking about creating a business model along these items. So we'll move into the second half of creating the business model, which is resources, right? What do you need to make the business model work, right? You've decided you want to sell fashion accessories. You've decided your target for the fashion accessories will be women between the ages of 30 to 45. And you've picked this category of women because you think there's there's no one serving them well in the market, or they're really underserved in the market. Or you've also decided that you'll be selling to them online for now, and as you grow, maybe you'll get a physical store, right? And you've decided your value proposition will also be quick delivery, you'll deliver the next day. You've also decided your revenue streams will be from direct sales, and your channels will be online, but you can also sell like on marketplaces, like you will also sell on Jumia. You create a flatter wave store to sell to them, right? So you've already pictured what your business model will look like. You've already pictured who is your customer, how you'll make money, where to sell to them, etc. So you already have a good foundation. So what do you need now to make that work, right? Number one, financial resources. How much capital do you need to make that work? Because you're selling from your house, you don't need money for rent, but you need money to maybe design a website, pay a social media person, or take photos, right? So what's your financial requirements? Yeah. I usually advise businesses to project this for like, what do you need for 6 months? Yeah. Before you start the business, at least have what you need for 6 months so that you can always, any money you're making from the business for the first 6 months, you can always like put it back to the business. But I know it sounds good on paper, but most times you just want to sell a product. But you need to think, as much as you also want to just make money from running a business, you need to think, what are my financial requirements for 6 months? So that you don't get to month 3 and you can't afford your costs for month 4 or month 5 or month 6. Because at that moment, you'll start scrambling to apply for loans and you'll be frustrated. You'll also start getting dubious people to lend you, and you also get frustrated in the process. And some of these things you could have avoided if you had already determined what you require for the next 6 months, right? Because then you can now start working towards, how can I get this money? Where can I raise this money from? Can my business actually run itself and can I like can the sales proceeds from my business? Uh, can they cater to running the business for the next few months? Yeah. So think about your financial resources. Yeah. What do you need to run that business so that by year 2 or by year 1, your business is still ongoing? Not that after month 4 your business can't continue, right? And then the physical assets that you need, right? You maybe you're producing chin chin from your house, or you need a machine for that chin chin, right? You're a tailor, you need a machine, or you're a logistics provider. How many cars do you need? You need to own the cars. Do you need asset financing to get the cars? Can you get other people who own cars into your system? Yeah. So what are the physical assets that you need? The intellectual assets. You're a software engineer. You're creating an educational training platform. Do you have patents? Do you have documentation on your code? Is this a new innovation that you have? What does it mean for you to get a patent? How much do you need to pay for a patent? Do you have a lawyer to do that for you? And then human resource. What type of people do you need? You need a salesperson, you need a delivery person. Basically, all the things that you need, all the resources from financial to social to human that you require to run your business and for your business model to work. The next one is key activities. Uh, what are the most important things the company must do to make the business model work? If you're selling chin chin, your key activity is you need to produce the chin chin, because if you don't produce the chin chin, you don't have a business, yeah, because your business is to sell chin chin. If you're selling fashion accessories and you're importing them, yeah, your key activity is importation of these fashion accessories, because if you don't have them, then there's nothing for you to sell, yeah. If you're into fish farming, your key activity is farming the fish farming, because if you don't fish farm, then you don't have products to sell. So you have to think about what are the key activities that have to happen in your business for the business to work. And then partners, who are the key partners and suppliers you need to make the business model to work. So suppliers, you're selling fashion accessories. Do you have manufacturers? Are they in China, right? What happens when the Chinese go on the Chinese New Year, which happens in February? Does that mean you don't sell in February, or should you have already pre-ordered the stock in January? Uh, who are your key partners? You're into fish farming. Who are your key partners? Your key partners are the people who uptake, the people you sell the fish to. Are they the wholesalers, right? Because if they don't come to collect the fish, what happens? Does your stock go bad, right? You sell vegetables. If your brokers or the people you sell the vegetables to in bulk don't come to pick the vegetables, does that mean your stock goes bad? So you have to identify who are the key partners to make your business model work. You're dependent on delivery. You've promised your customers you'll be doing 24 hours delivery. Your key partners should be the delivery company you work with. If it's Gokada, uh, they're your key partner, because that means if they stop operations, what happens to you? Can you still maintain your customer promise to deliver within 24 hours, right? So for you to list down your key partners and key suppliers, you have to think what resources are you acquiring from them, and what activities do they need to perform, right? So if you're getting logistics resources from them, right? The key activities that they need to perform is to make sure they are availing bikes when you need them, make sure that they are always ready to make a delivery for you. The last item is the cost structure, right? So you've looked at how you will make money, you've looked at the resources that you need to make money. What are your costs required to operate your business? What are your fixed costs? What are your variable costs? If you need space, rent is your fixed cost. Whether you sell or not, rent is your fixed.
Hi, Lucy. Okay, I think it's network. Hi, Lucy, can you hear me? Yeah, I think we've lost our facilitator. I think it's network issues from my end. Just have to hold on for a while. Please let's be patient. I'm sure she should be back on shortly. Hi, Lucy, can you hear me? Hi, Lucy. We can see you, but we can't hear you yet. Can you hear me? Hi, Lucy, can you hear me? Okay, but we can't actually hear you. We can see you, but we can't hear you. Okay, we can see you now, but we still can't hear you. Yeah, you actually have been unmuted. Wow. Okay, let me check in again. I think it's network from your end because you're actually unmuted here.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. Sorry. I think it's a network issue.
Well, it's already coming out.
Yeah, sorry. Goes correctly. Or can you give me rights to share?
Okay. You can share now.
Okay. I'm so sorry. So I think who are other cost structure. So what are the costs to operate the business model? Or what will end up costing you money to run your business, right? So most of you are in year 1, year 5, year 4, 2 months into the business. What will it actually cost you to run your business? Uh, you need to think about it now, like what will it cost you to run your business this year, right? If you hadn't thought about it at the beginning of the year, and always put an allowance for miscellaneous expenses. Things might change, inflation, whatever it costed you to run the business last year, just add like a 10% inflation, right? So you have to think about that. So we've gone through the 9 steps to building a business model. This is actually like a business canvas, the business model canvas. We've gone through how do you create value and then how do you execute. And I hope most of you were thinking about your businesses as we were discussing these 9 items. Before we do the exercise to create a business model canvas, I'd welcome questions at this stage.
Okay, please, if you have a question, you can just signify and then you'll be asked to unmute yourself.
How can I relate value proposition to customer relationship, especially for a type of business that is service-based? Or say, for instance, okay, I'll go through cost structure again. Or your service is, your business is service-based. Your value proposition can be something as timely delivery, right? If you're a consultant, do you offer consulting services? Your value proposition should be you always deliver on time. Yeah, that can be your value proposition. And most people think lowering their price equates value proposition. And I don't encourage people to do that, because if it's clear why I need you, if the supermarket next to my house is charging 10% more than the supermarket where I have to travel for an hour to get there, most likely I'll buy from the supermarket that is next to my house, right? And that's their value. Their value is they offer me convenience. Yeah. The supermarket that is cheaper, that is 1 hour, their value is they're cheaper. And maybe that's not what I need as a customer. As a customer, I need convenience. So whether you're far and you're cheaper, if it's not convenient for me, it's not convenient for you. So to your question, if you're a service-based business, your value proposition can be, what do your customers need, right? Do they need timely delivery? Do they need flexibility on payment, right? Maybe you charge 20% upfront balance on delivery of the service. So you need to think about what your value proposition is. And most times as a business owner, you don't see it yourself. So if you have some clients, you can ask your clients, what really do you like about my service? Yeah, always engage your customers, your clients, and ask them what they think about your service, because they'll be able to tell you why they pick your service over another service provider. I didn't really follow on the activities. Screen went blank. I'll share this presentation. I'm sorry about that. 10% inflation, that was a figure, but you need to check like how have the costs been rising. Right now, I think 10% is the general inflation rate everywhere. So it's a sad story, but it's what we have to deal with. Can you go through the cost structure again? Can you go through the revenue stream again? What's the most ideal location for a low carbon cement production facility? So for this, I think you as the business owner, the question that you need to ask yourself is, who are your users, right, of the facility? Are they individual builders or are they construction companies? Number two, how are they able to get your products, right? Do they have to travel like a long distance? Do you deliver to them your products? Because you can be based in, say for instance, Abuja, and your users are in Lagos. So is that convenient for your users? So these are the questions you have to think about. You also have to think about what is the cost of setting up the facility in Lagos versus in another state. Yeah, are your operating costs higher in Lagos versus in, say, Ibadan, right? And if you're going to Ibadan, then you have to ask yourself, how do you deliver to your customers who are in Lagos, right? So you have to go through the journey of who are your customers first, how will you get the products through to your customers, yeah? Is that, will you lose customers if you're asking them to come pick the product versus are customers willing to pay for the delivery fee for the product? Then you also have to think about where are your operating fees higher in Lagos by like 2 million per month as compared to Ibadan, and that cost you can actually offer it like as a delivery service to your customers. So you have to think about the various you have to think about your customer. Who's your customer? Can you get the slides? You get the slides. How accessible is my product? How convenient? I don't know if that's a question to yourself or to this. Who are my competitors and how do you recognize them? So I'll answer who are my just a comment, got it. Yeah, but it's a good question to ask yourself. On the question of who are my competitors and how do I recognize them, I'll answer that question and then I'll go back to the cost structure and revenue stream. I think many people asked around that, and then how do you make the business model work? So who are my competitors and how do you recognize them? So I don't know if you've heard about this case study where MTN discovered the reason people were not buying the 200 bob airtime. They were wondering why are people not buying 200 bob airtime, and they discovered one of their competitors for the 200 bob airtime was Origin Bitters, right? So how you think about your competitors is if my competitor is not using my product, what else are they using, right? If I sell water in a bottle and what else can my competitor use as compared to in a bottle, right? They can use the sachet water, they can use the water dispenser, right? So the water dispenser is your competitor. The water in a sachet is your competitor. If you're selling fashion accessories, your competitor number one is who else is selling fashion accessories. Whether it's a supermarket that is selling fashion accessories, that is also your competitor. Whether it's a vendor who is on Jumia selling your fashion accessories, that's also your competitor. Whether it's Zara, which is not even in Nigeria and people are ordering from there, or Amazon, yeah, that is also your competitor. So I think for you, the question you need to ask yourself is, one, what value are you giving to your customer? Yeah. What is making me order from you and not and not go to the supermarket to buy the fashion accessories and not go to Amazon or ASOS or Zara to buy the fashion accessories, right? So what are you giving me? If you're giving me convenience, right? Like you can deliver the same day as compared to Amazon where I have to send it to a shipping agent, the shipping agent brings for me. If you're giving me quality at an affordable price, if you're giving me accessibility, I don't have to go to the supermarket to look for this product, you're delivering them to me, you're giving me a good range of products to select from. So I think you have to ask yourself, what value are you offering your customer? Because there's nothing that still has not, quote unquote, been invented. So for you as a vendor of that service, for you as a phone vendor, what value are you providing your customer? And do the customers actually need the value you're providing to them? You can say you tailor suits within 24 hours and that's your value, but your customers need suits within 24 hours, right? Because if they don't need the suits within 24 hours, then they probably won't see the value that you offer. But maybe also you offer the best styles, a high quality fabric, so they're able to see the value. I offer professional cleaning services. How do I apply the business model canvas to my business? I think we'll go through that, but let me first go through the costs. The costs are so revenue streams. I think how the simple way to think about revenue streams is, how do you make money as a business, right? Do you make money from selling the product, or do you make money from manufacturing? Like as a business, whatever business you're running, how do you make how do you make money? They're very You could be selling groundnuts, yeah, but you're making money from both the groundnuts and from packaging of the groundnuts. Maybe you put a markup also on the packaging the groundnuts come in here. You can say for bottled groundnuts are more expensive than packaged in a paper. Yeah. So I think it's how you're making money as a business. There's one business that's professional cleaning services. Yes. How are you making money as a professional, as someone who does professional cleaning? Are you Your revenue streams here could be, are people paying monthly, like a one-time monthly payment? So every month I'm paying 20K and I know you come to my house every week. Or are people doing on demand where every time I need a cleaner, I come to you and you charge me a one-time fee? Or are you providing services to companies and charging them monthly or weekly? So those are your various revenue streams. You have revenue streams from customers who need your services for a month. You have revenue streams from customers who need your services for a week. You have revenue streams from customers who need one-time services. So I think the question is, how do you make money as your business? Are you making money? Are there customers who you provide cleaning materials and you're also making money from that? Have you factored that in your pricing? Yeah. So how to think about revenue streams simply is how you're making money as a business. The second, on the cost structure, the cost is easy because we already discussed the resources you need, right? How many people do you need in your business? What do you need for your business to operate? Do you need a machine? Do you need to rent a space to produce? Do you need packaging materials? Do you buy these packaging materials monthly, yearly? Do you need to hire a delivery person? Do you need to hire a store attendant? Do you need to hire a social media manager? So for the costs, it's for me to run my business. What costs am I incurring? And if it's not clear for you, if you've been running your business for a year, just reflect on what costs have you incurred, right? And some are even one-off. Maybe you had to, I hope this is a safe space, maybe you had to bribe on certain locations for your products to move, or you have to pay market fees every week, right? And some of these things you don't know if you're not recording your costs. But every week you're paying something at the market, you're paying a fee at the market. These are costs you should write down so that you can be able to factor them in your pricing. I hope I've answered the questions on revenue streams and pricing. How do I use how do this There's one question that was very important. I wanted, what do I need to make the business model work? Mayowa asked that question. So if you look at this business model properly, and I'll share with all of you like a canvas that you can use, right? So as you're going through these questions, you're also writing down on your canvas. So if you think about this business model canvas, right? This section here, I hope you can see my screen. This section here, the first section shows how you create value. This is the foundation of your business. You ask yourself, what are your customer segments? What's the value proposition? How are you selling? How are you getting customers into your business? And how are you making money from your business? Yeah. So this right side is the value creation side. Now, how do you make it work? That's why you go to the execution side, where what resources do you need, right? You've already decided you want to have a low carbon cement production facility, right? How do you make that work? How much money do you need? Do you need a bank loan for the machinery, right? Who are your key suppliers, right? For you to produce the cement, like what do you need? Who are your key suppliers? Yeah, you need to identify them. How much will it cost? What's your relationship with the suppliers? Do they need 100% down payment, right? What are your costs of operation? Do you need people to man the facility? Do you need always people to maintain the machinery? So this section helps you execute, because if you figured out how to go from the value you've created to making it work, this is how the execution section works. Our Jumoke asked, we create edtech solutions to digitize learning alternatives. One of our key value proposition is using mobile apps to create animated video games that simplify learning outcomes. We currently have an app for download on iOS and Play Store. My question is, how can we monetize the solutions? I think the number one question I'd ask you is, when you created this company, yeah, to digitize learning alternatives, who did you think, or who was your customer? What problem or what need were you solving for them, right? Maybe you're solving for kids who are constantly on their phones, and the easiest way for them to learn is using animation, right? So are you already having users on your app, right? What additional offering can you give them to be able to monetize, right? Because if you already have users on your app, that shows they need your product, they're using your solution, right? It's a question of how much are they also willing to pay, and you can do a market research and check, this is the cost that people are paying for the various edtech platforms, right? But for us, our value proposition is that we've put it on mobile and we've done animation. So if we've already done this, can we give people a 7-day free trial? And after the free trial, we start charging them a monthly subscription. So here, when we go back to, and I'll use your business as an example, when we go back to revenue streams, right? When you think about the revenue streams, what is your strategy? What is your revenue model, right? What is your strategy? Then how do you price it, right? Is it a monthly subscription? Your revenue model, are you doing also an annual subscription? Will I get it cheaper if I pay annually? Do I directly debit from people's accounts every month? So these are some of the questions you need to ask yourself. But sometimes as a business owner, you also need to constantly engage with your customers. And you can do that when you're calling them. Ask them, how was the service? What would you like for us to improve on? What more can we give you as a business? Yeah. And your customers will literally tell you a lot of information, especially because they're the users of your product. Don't just operate like selling, and you're not taking feedback from your customers. You're a shoe vendor, or you're a shoe repair person, right? Ask your customers, why do you come to me every month or every week? And your customers will tell you it's because you're near my office, or it's because you are able to deliver after fixing the shoes, and that becomes your value proposition. And once you find out what your value is in the market, you just keep improving and improving on that. We have some questions from those watching on YouTube. I don't know if the Boundary team can pick the YouTube questions. As a tailor, how do I generate revenue for my business without taking a loan? So I'm answering these questions to just also give an idea to the rest of the audience on how to think about your businesses, right? So you might not be a tailor, but you need to also think about some of the things that you need as a business. So you're a tailor, you want to generate revenue from your business without taking a loan. First, the question is, what costs do you need initially, right? If you're a tailor, you need a machine, yeah. Uh, who is your customer? Do you want to make custom designs, or do you want to do ready to wear? If you want to do custom designs, right, then you need to produce the first samples to showcase to people what you can make. You don't have money for marketing. Can you use your friends to do word of mouth for you? Can you take photos using your phone instead of hiring a photographer, right? So you have to think about, how do I start? What do I need to start? But also, how do I grow? Because if you're a tailor and you're making custom designs, you're not online, how will people ever find you? How do people even know you're a tailor? If I'm looking for tailors online and I can't find you,
Hi, Lucy. I think you've gone off again. Please just be patient with us. I think she's having another network issue, and I'm sure she'll be back shortly.
someone said the network seems to be very poor today. Yes, the network is very poor. Apologies. Yeah. So I think what I was saying is, if you're a tailor, you need to also know how do you get, who's your customer, and how do you get to your customer. Remember what I said about you'll need to unmute me after I share. Customer relationships, it's how do I get my customers? Yeah, don't sit in your house and expect customers to find you, right? If customers are online, go where they are, right? If customers are physical, how do you get to them? Are you using sales reps to go get customers for you? So you have to find you've already identified your customer is a shop, right? So how do you get to them? So you have to find your customers where they are. Remember, customers do not exist for you as a business, you exist for them. So you have to find them where they are. My name is Marian. The company is Milan Maria. We sell hair and body care products in Accra. We want to get a distributor for our products. Can you recommend a strategy to do that? Okay. Marian, you want to get distributors for your product, a strategy to get a distributor. First of all, where do you want the distributor to be? Do you still want the distributor in Accra or in a different country? That's the number one step. What do you want the distributor to do for you? Do you want them to move a lot of products or to create market awareness? What do you want the distributor to do for you? That's the second question you need to ask yourself. The third question is, what percentage of sales, like already you're making sales, right? So in your sales channels, is distributor 50% of your sales channel? If it's 50% of your sales channel, that means you have to move a lot of products using the distributors. So the question is, the type of distributor I get, how much product, like what's their distributor strategy? Do they already have clients so that they are able to move for you products? You also need to ask yourself, for your distributor, what are their payment terms? Do they want to pay after they've sold the product? And does that work for you as a business? Because you can't be waiting for 3 months for someone to sell the product, right? Or do you require them to pay a certain amount and the balance after you sold the product? So just sit down with the business canvas. And once you just answer the questions like properly, right? You're able to know what strategy to employ with the different people. I hope I've answered your question, but I think the strategy is, one, who is your ideal distributor and how do you know about your ideal distributor? Because you can put up a Facebook advert seeking out a distributor who has X years of experience in distribution, who already distributes hair products, or do you want a distributor who is also doing other products? And that will enable you to get some leads of distributors. And then now you can shortlist, okay, I've gotten these distributors, what terms and conditions do we put in place with each of them, right? Audio is not working. Really?
I think it's from the person's end because we can actually hear you.
Okay. Slide 3, I'll share the slides. Are students in a private university that don't allow on campus? How will my business survive without having to share all my ideas to who works for me? First, I think the one thing I'll tell you is your ideas are not, like, very few ideas are innovative. We can all have the same ideas as a business. So never shy away from sharing ideas with people, because by sharing ideas, you also get on how to improve. The question is, how do you execute your ideas? Because you can find that you're not in a place to execute your ideas right now, but probably you have a friend who is outside of campus who can help you with the execution. So always approach business like a partnership as compared to a one-man thing. Or I might actually have to join using my phone. What's your recommendation for a food production company that needs new distributors in Nigeria? I think just apply the same distribution strategy. You need to think about who is your ideal distributor and how can you get them, right? Do you get them by asking other people who are distributing food products who their distributors are? And are you able to get feedback from these people as well? Or I want to know the difference between above the line and below the line marketing channel. I think you'll get this from the digital marketing channel session. Yeah. Any other questions that I've left out? Don't know if my question was treated. Jumoke, what's your question? Do you mind copying it again?
Recording in progress.
I think the one thing before this thing dies on me again, I'd like us to discuss is the value proposition. You can continue typing your questions on the charts. I think it's identifying what's your unique selling proposition as a business. And when you're thinking about what's your value as a business, yeah, think about what it is you bring to the table. And I wrote here, it's not about the R, but the best. Like, don't say your value proposition is that you're cheaper. Are you the cheapest, right? So if you can never be the cheapest, then cheap is not your value proposition. Yeah, you need to start thinking about what are your other value propositions, right? Maybe you provide the best quality, yeah? Maybe you provide additional customer service. Maybe you sell TVs, but you go all the way and provide value-added services like installation, yeah? But you can't say you're cheaper, because if you're not the cheapest, then that's not a value proposition. I can still get the cheapest person if I want to. But if your value is you offer added services, then I'll come and get the TV from you, because I know then I don't have to look for someone to install, you'll install for me. Or maybe you have like a longer warranty period. So when you're thinking about your unique selling proposition as a business, yeah, think about what do you bring to the table, right? You're a food production company, yeah? You're selling through distributors. Why would a distributor pick you as compared to another food production company? Is it your payment terms, right? Do you always have stock for them to distribute? Or do you offer discounts to your distributors? Do you deliver to them? So think about you as a business. What do you bring to to the table? And the table is to your customers. And as I said, always communicate with your customers. Ask them, especially if you have customers who have been with you for a while. Just ask them, how long why do you pick me? Like, what other services would you like for me to offer you? Do you like my service? Was my service good? And customers are always willing to give feedback, because it's their money at the end of the day, right? So they're always willing to give feedback. So have that relationship with your customers. Just know what your offering is to the customers. Let me see if there are more questions, because we have like 10 minutes. Okay. Divine, help me answer your question. Can I know what other value proposition for a fabric vendor render apart from selling through retailers, wholesaler, quality, good relationship, good delivery, variety, right? Have customers been asking for products and you're always out of stock on the products? Yeah. Even your value proposition can be have a personal relationship with your customers, right? That you know them, you know their birthdays, you send them out. Yeah, that can be a value proposition, because what that creates is the stickiness, right? The loyalty with your customer. I think you also need to think, for my customer, what makes my customer not buy from me and buy from my competitor, right? And you don't have to service everyone. If you don't sell silk fabric, then that's okay. But for the things that you sell, why does your customer buy from you and not another person. So, and that's why I was saying you need to also ask your customers some of these questions, right? But if you're getting 10 customers in a day who want silk and you don't sell silk, right? Do you recommend them to other fabric vendors, or do you put it down and say, maybe there's an actual need for silk fabric and you start offering this? So remember, always, what your customer buys other fabric from you, but all of a sudden they need silk. Maybe silk is trending, right? Remember, as a business, are you serving the need and the problem your customer is facing, right? So as much as you don't have to service everyone, you also have to think about how sweet are you to changes in the environment? How flexible are you as well? I produce eco footwears from tires. That's nice. They're affordable compared to other brands on Jumia and eBay. They're also more durable and can last a lifetime, fashionable and trendy. I just started. What advice on how I can grow as a startup? I think number one is, are you marketing your products, right? And by marketing is, are you creating awareness for your products? Do I know? Because you're in a very good category. There's a lot of rave about recycled fashion. Yeah. So are you placing yourself out there? And maybe it's not something you're good at. Yeah. So can you hire someone who's good at social media to start talking about your story, right? Can you take videos of you producing this footwear from tire waste to footwear, right? So you need to also just start being there, like be on people, be where you need to be, right? You also said are affordable compared to other brands on Jumia and eBay. They're also more durable and can last a lifetime. I think that statement is, how do you know, right? It's how do you know, but also how you're communicating this in the selling. Do I know that your shoes are more durable than the ones I bought on Jumia? Is is your selling communication clear that they can last a lifetime? Is your selling communication clear that your products are also cheap, right? Um, Jumoke is back. My question for my business is, we create edtech solutions to digitize learning alternatives. And one of our key value proposition is using mobile apps. Oh, my question is, how can we monetize our solutions? So Jumoke, I think what I answered in this is our subscriptions, right? You can give people a free day trial, but like for 7 days, for them to just see what your products can do. And after that, charge them a subscription fee, right? They just lock them out because you're also incurring costs to deliver this product to them. So don't make it free. Don't make it free for them for a long time period, unless you're willing to be a non-profit. And I'm sure if you're in this class, you're not willing to be a non-profit company. Yeah. So I think you have to think about, how do you make money? Is it monthly subscription? Is it like an annual subscription? Or do you have a model that if I pay for annual, I get a certain percentage off? And for your businesses, you have to think like, especially software businesses, think about the software you usually use: Netflix, Showtime, Showmax, sorry, YouTube, think about these subscriptions where people consume content from, because these are quote unquote your competitors if you think about it. Because if someone is not using your app, they're watching Cocomelon on YouTube, yeah. And think about how has YouTube been able to monetize, right? They do subscription plans, they create YouTube for kids, etc, etc. Yeah, think about that. Yeah, I think we have 4 minutes remaining. I just want to know, was the session informative for you people? I'll share I'll share the link to the slides. I'll also share a business canvas template so that as you ask yourself these questions on the canvas, you're also writing them down on what it means for your business. Yeah. Can I get some responses? Has the session been informative?
Thank you so much, Lucy. I think we'll be taking a lot of questions from the chat box. Please, I'm going to ask now, does anyone have a question like you want to ask, you want to say something, and then we can have you muted. If you want to say something, just... Okay, I think I've seen someone. So please unmute yourself, Solani.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much, Lucy, for the session. It was so insightful. My question then would be, having like specify all of these and have a business model, how often does this change? Is this document, is this supposed to be a living document? When do I consider coming back to update it? Or what are the things that can literally like cause my business model to change if it ever does changes?
So how I see this, the business model canvas, is you're headed from, you're leaving Lagos to Abuja, right? It's a road map, right? If you find trucks have caused traffic on that road, but you need to get to Abuja, yeah? What do? You find an alternative route. So that's how to think about this canvas. It's just a foundation for your business, right? But if after you run your canvas and your sales strategy was distribution, like using distributors to distribute your product, and month one, that strategy did not work. Month two, it did not work.
Okay, I think we've lost her again. Hi, Lucy. Okay, please, while she's working on coming back on, please, the attendance form has been shared on the chat box. So if you're yet to fill in the attendance form, please do well to fill it in. If it's not working, I think it will be from your end because the attendance form has been filled in by some persons already. We have...
Sorry. So I was saying, if your strategy is not working for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months, honestly, it would be, I don't want to say foolish, but yeah, it will be foolish to continue with the same strategy if it's not working, right? So this is a roadmap, a guide to show you you're going from Lagos to Abuja, right? But if you find trucks along the way, how do you still get to Abuja? And you should use this as a roadmap. So every 1 month, every 2 months, every 3 months, always revisit it and check what is working, what is not working. And if it's not working, what other alternatives can you put in place? But it's a base to guide you. It's a base to guide your employees. It's a base to help you determine how do you go from point A to point B as a business? How do you start distributing your body and hair care products from Accra to Lagos, right? the ways might change, but your goal still remains the same. So it's, if I'm not getting importers, right? Can I get one distributor in Lagos? Yeah. So basically, to answer your question, that's it. So apologies for all the hitches, but we had a good session. I'm sure I'll see some of you or all of you next week. But in the meantime, you can reach me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. I'm sure the team at Foundry will also share the slides with you.
Okay, thank you so much, Lucy, for an amazing session. And I'm so surprised that you actually kept the time. So thank you so much for making our time out of your busy schedule. And again, this was really an insightful and informative session. And for those that actually still have questions, you can only share, you can send me a DM on WhatsApp, or you can share on the group, and all questions will be shared with our facilitator. And also, as she has promised, of course, you'll be having access to the slides. Once it's been shared to us, we're going to send that across to the community. So thank you so much, Lucy, for coming on board. I hope there are no more questions, or do we have anybody that wants to say something before she leaves? Okay, yeah.
I think there are no more questions apart from the agro-food production. Facing a problem trying to convince my people products 100% because they're used to the traditional type that can last. How do I go about it? I think your communication should be clear, right? Your communication should be really clear that your products are 100%. I don't know what 100% means, but you can reach out to me on LinkedIn and we can discuss this further.
Okay, thank you so much, Lucy, for that. Again, please, before we have Lucy, leave, please can we all come on our video? If you have your video on, please let me see you. Would love to take a group picture as we did yesterday. This is something we'll be doing all through the sessions for the SME Bootcamp. So please, can we have your videos on?
I'll start my video. I don't have
Okay, we still have more people joining in. Please, let's have more. I'm going to share the attendance link after. Please just hold on while we'll take. I'm yet to see Lucy though. Okay. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. I can see more people joining in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I can see more people joining in. Thank you. So yes, we've taken our picture. I'm sure you also have I'm sure you're also aware that you also have to take a screenshot and let us know how today's session was. And while you are posting that on your social media, please ensure to tag our facilitator for today and also the foundry.ng. I'm going to leave her social media handles on the group. So please ensure to leave a comment when you visit her page and let her know the impact her session today made for you. So thank you all so much. It's been a wonderful session today. And thank you, Lucy, once again. I can see you now. Thank you so much for making our time for us for the 6th edition of the Foundry SME BOOTCAMP. It's good to have you. I think you're muted, so sorry about that. Thank you so much. Thank you. This was really an amazing session, to say the least. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you once again, everyone, for coming on board. Our pictures are taken. Once again, please ensure to leave a comment when you post your screenshots on your social media pages. And also, regarding the replay, you're going to be having access to these replays. As for those that actually, were in session today or were in attendance today. So I'm going to be putting in the attendance form again, actually for those that missed it the first time. So I'm going to be leaving the attendance form again. Please ensure to fill in the attendance form before logging out. If you're finding it difficult to fill in the attendance form, you can actually send me a DM with the proof of attendance. Again, send a screenshot that you are present in today's session, and then you'll be sent the attendance form directly to your DM. So thank you once again. And also, like I mentioned earlier, your the certificate is dependent on your attendance. So if you do not attend a minimum of 5 sessions for the training, please, you won't be giving any certificates for this training. So please ensure that you're committed to attending all of the bootcamp training sessions so that you can have access to the certificate. And also for the replays, we have 2 replays are actually free for everyone, but the others, we have about 5 other sessions that would actually be dependent on 2 things. One is your attendance. Now, if you have a minimum of 5, if you attended 5 of the training sessions, you will be given the replay for at a discount, because we're not pushing the replay for free. Like, all replays actually is not for free, but the business strategy session, which is today's session, and the digital marketing session will be given for free, but all other sessions will come at a cost. So if you're getting other sessions, again, if you attended 5 of the training sessions, you'll be getting all other sessions for 5,000 naira. So that's the discount cost we're giving it out to those that actually attended 5 sessions, minimum of 5 sessions. But if you don't attend that means you'll be getting 1 session for 2,000 naira, and that's 10,000 naira for the remaining 5 sessions. So please ensure that you are committed to attending all of the live training sessions. And please, our sincere apologies for those that could not join in from the beginning due to the capacity problem. So we're already working on that, and hopefully by tomorrow's session, we should have a larger capacity to accommodate everyone in the community. So thank you so much for coming on board today. And please, once again, if you're yet to fill in the attendance form, I'm sharing that again. Please fill in the attendance form. It's very important. So please endeavor to fill it in before logging out of today's session. And tomorrow, we'll be having another amazing session with another amazing facilitator, a business expert who actually has I think over a decade in business planning and also pitching. So please endeavor to be present at tomorrow's session, because I know a lot of businesses, I know a lot of you have actually applied for your grant opportunities for your businesses. And one of the major requirements is you submitting your business plan. So again, tomorrow we are having a business plan expert to come lay out all of the required details you would need to create not just a business plan, but a winning business plan that could actually get you the grants that you desire. So thank you so much for coming on today's session. So again, see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. But please, I'm still going to stay in for 10 minutes for those that are yet to fill in their attendance form to do that before the log out of the session. And if you're finding it difficult to fill in your attendance form, please send me a DM with a proof that you attended this session, just a screenshot, and you will be shared the attendance form. So thank you all so much. If you have questions, please let me know. You can, I think you can actually unmute yourselves. If you have a comment, if you have questions, please let me know. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you for coming on board, and we hope to have you again in any of our events. If you have any comments, you can actually unmute yourself, and if you want to say something.
Yeah, can I say
Thank you for
something?
today. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, Rachel.
This is Catherine.
Okay, Catherine. Hi, Catherine.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. It's good to have you.
Yeah, I think you made a promise that you're going to drop her social media handle, and I've requested for that like 2 or 3 times in the chat box, but I've not seen that.
Okay, I'm going to share that on the group once I log off from this meeting. I'm going to be sharing that on the group.
Okay, all right.
All right. Thank you so much.
Then another question is, you said that the replays will be available for discounted for those who are able to make the 5 attendance. Do we have option of choosing which ones to pick, or everything will just be given at that price?
Okay, are you saying instead of taking all 5, you might just decide to take maybe 2 or 3?
Yes, in case one is just actually interested, maybe a few of them, or it has to be everything.
No, if you're interested in any one, you can actually take you can get it per one. So per one is 2,000 naira.
Okay.
If you're getting per one for the replay, it's 2,000 naira. But if you want to get all 5 sessions, 5,000 naira. That's for those that actually meet the attendance requirements. But if you don't meet the attendance requirements, you will be getting the full 5 sessions for 10,000 naira, and per one session is 3,000 naira.
I get it. Thanks.
All right, you're welcome. Rachel, I can see your hands up. Please, if you want to say something, please kindly unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello. Who's speaking, please?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Richard.
I'm Richard M. Kanaya from Sierra Leone.
Okay, hi, Richard.
I'm really happy about this topic. This is a really chance I was watching for because the topic is really fine. It's really good towards my business. I started understanding what is going on in my business. So thank you very much. Thank you for the organization.
Thank you. And thank you for coming on board all the way from Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome. Do we have Rachel? Have been seeing your hands up. I don't know if you want to say something. If you still have something to say, please let me know. You can unmute yourself actually. If you want to say something, you can kindly unmute yourself. I'm just giving enough time so we can have those that are yet to fill in their attendance form do it. Queen, don't worry about that. Just fill in that. Once you fill in the attendance form once, it's okay. We already get your details recorded. We already have your details recorded. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, once again, do not forget to fill in the attendance form, and also do not forget to share your screenshots on your social media pages. I'm going to share, once I log off the session, I'm going to share our facilitators' social media handles. So you can also tag her to your post. She's actually more active on LinkedIn, so you can also tag her to your post in there as well.
Hello?
Hello, who is speaking?
Yeah, this is Richard again.
Okay, hi, Richard.
I'm having problem with my video, really, but you said we should screenshot our video, but I'm having problem with it. So I cannot, but I have feed the attendant list.
Okay, there's no problem then. It's okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. So for those that are yet to fill in the attendance form, please do so quickly. And the next 5 minutes will be out. If you need the attendance form, please let me know so I can reshare. Thank you, Janet Ugbani. I saw your postings yesterday. Thank you so much for that. So it's actually amazing to see the impact that our keynote speaker actually made yesterday, even with given the short time that she had to speak. So thank you so much for coming on board yesterday. Please, once I get the link from the facilitator, that's the slides, please endeavor to go back through all of what she has taught, because business strategy, or in fact, business model in itself is the foundation to starting any business. So if you really don't understand the business you're into, then I'm not sure you're actually ready to actually start a business. So today's topic is actually one of the, in fact, it's not one of, it's the major foundation to starting a business as an entrepreneur. So please do well to go back and revisit all that she has explained, all that she has mentioned, and all that she has addressed, all that she has taught on. Please endeavor to use all information that you've gotten and put it into your business, like practicalize it. I think that's where you now actually understand all that she has shared. So again, this session is going to be given out for free, as well as her slides. You'll be getting that for free. But all replays will be shared across after the bootcamp. We don't share replays after a session, we share replays after the bootcamp. So at the end of the bootcamp, based on your attendance, we're going to be sharing accordingly, and based on your request for the sessions that you want, we'll be sharing that out accordingly. So thank you all once again. So see you all once again tomorrow, and please prepare in advance for our session, same time, 11 a.m. Nigerian time. For those that are in Sierra Leone, Ghana, it's 10 a.m. For those in Kenya, it's 1 p.m. So thank you so much for joining us today. See you tomorrow, and bye for now.